right, so good evening, everyone. My name is Sandy McClure, and Kamber has invited me to share with you my activation story. You probably all have heard this word activation, and you may not be sure what it is. And we're here tonight to just share a little bit about what that is. So Kamber, I'm going to just let you welcome your friends, and then I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and get started.
Well, thank you everybody for coming tonight. I just wanted Sandy to come on here and kind of share some of her family's testimony of what they've experienced with LifeVantage and hear it from somebody who is more knowledgeable and has more experience about it than me. Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules. We know that that is a sacrifice, and hopefully if you've got the children, they're all in bed now, and we can just kind of focus on what we've got going here. First of all, I need to give you some proper disclosures. We do not claim to cure, treat, mitigate any disease. We have some amazing testimonials, and we can talk till we're blue in the face about what these products do to add value to your life, but once you experience it for yourself, you'll understand our passion for it. It's something I've never seen anything like it in my 59 years of life. And so just really something I want to share with you. Also, there is an opportunity for you to earn income to help pay for your products, or even beyond that, if that's something that you'd like to do, but there's no guarantee in that. It's a lot of work. People will do webinars at 8:15 at night. And so it is, but for me, it doesn't seem like work. It's just more of a passion that I do. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I'll be admitting people as we go. But again, my name is Sandy McClure. I grew up in a little town of Calhoun, Colorado. You guys might know I have family all over northeastern Colorado. One of my best friends in college, Jolene Northrup Locke from Stoneham. You all probably might know her or be familiar with that, but my sister teaches in Merino, and I've got family all over northeastern Colorado. So I'm very familiar with that. My mom and dad grew up in Peets, Colorado for the most part. And so I'm familiar with small towns. This is my beautiful family. Speaking of small towns, I live in a tiny little town, Creede, Colorado, southwest, not southeast, as I said last time. It's southwest in the San Juan Mountains. And so that picture right there is my purpose, my passion, and I want to be alive for as long as I can to be with my family. What you can expect from tonight is my story. I'm going to kind of weave it in through activation, because when I was first introduced to this, I knew nothing about activation. I didn't have any idea what it was. It's pretty in depth, but I will tell you, every single person on the planet needs it. Where I'm going to share a little bit of science and some studies with you on a breakthrough in health technology. You may or may not know about it. If you watch that primetime video, ABC Primetime Investigative Report, you have a little bit of an idea what we're talking about here. We have an amazing Facebook group that has a lot of really great testimonies and stories, and Kamber has probably invited you to that. It's called Biohackers Life of the Party. Please make sure that you add or accept the invitation to that, because there are so many things in there that could probably resonate with you. We're going to share some information with you tonight too, because for me, it was, I just really didn't know where to get started, and that might be you as well. So we're going to just tell you, get in where you fit in. The most important thing is for you to start. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but I'm going to share with you a little bit about myself. This is me in 2015. Okay. But up to that point, I was a school teacher of 26 years in Fowler, Colorado. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Fowler, but my life took a turn at the age of 48 years old. My marriage ended, and I never expected that to happen. My three beautiful daughters, and something that you always expect to just continue on, and it didn't work out that way. So I left teaching in 2016. Or 2014, when my daughter graduated from high school. My last daughter, I was living in that small town. I had joined another direct sales company, Advocare. You might be familiar with that. Very passionate about that. It did change my life and afforded me the opportunity to be able to retire from teaching. And what I did was I had reconnected with this gentleman that lived in Creed, Colorado. And I thought, well, I don't know where I'm going to go from here, but I knew I had to get out of that little town. So I moved to the mountains, and which I'd never thought I would do. And now I just teach and coach at a different level. And again, it's my passion. At age 51, I've had, the world by the tail. I felt really good. I was supplemented, taking great care of myself, and I was diagnosed with cancer. So here's me in 2015 with my bald head, sitting in the infusion chair, a place I never thought I would be. I had what I was diagnosed with was bilateral. I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, triple negative breast cancer, which, if you know anything about it, it's not the one you want. You don't want any of them, but that's definitely not the ones you want. It's very aggressive. And so I was aggressive. If it was going to be aggressive, I said, I will do the bilateral mastectomy. And I did 20 weeks of chemotherapy. That was pretty hard on my body, but I will tell you this, the only thing I had to fight was cancer. So if you think about this, if you were diagnosed with cancer today, what all would you have to be fighting? Would you have to be fighting high blood pressure on top of that? Would you have to be fighting diabetes? Would you be fighting thyroid problems? Or would you be fortunate? For me, that was all I was fighting. It was a fight, and I got through it. I felt good about how I got through it, but I will tell you 20 weeks of chemo was certainly enough for me. I had the choice, and I did have the implants put in. I kind of did not want to do that, but in order to progress or go ahead and have the bilateral mastectomy, I had to make a decision on the implants. And so I really never wanted to do it in the first place, but I went ahead and did it. So in April 2016, I got those final implants in. And if you've ever been through anything like this and had to have expanders in your chest, I never had a big chest anyway, and I had to have expanders. Those were almost as bad as chemotherapy. But I got those implants in 2016. And then in the summer of 2016, I had a colonoscopy after chemotherapy, and they told me it was not good. They were certain that in 3 years that I would be back with a colon full of cancerous polyps, and they thought that would be my next phase of cancer. They were very worried about that. So they said, we'll do this colonoscopy. They scraped everything, and then they said, in 3 years, you'll need to come back, and after that, it'll probably be every year. And so that was what I had to look forward to for 3 years of my life. Interestingly enough, that July of 2016, my first grandchild was born. And I'll tell you what, that will change everything. He was born on the day of my diagnosis 1 year earlier. It's just crazy how things happen. And, I was really excited about that, but I'll be honest with you, I wasn't feeling very good. And that clear went into 2017 when the man who stood beside me the whole time I was going through chemotherapy and never left my side asked me for my hand in marriage, and I said yes. And so in 2017, we got married. I was still suffering from migraines and so much inflammation. And I had these rashes, you guys, you can see in these pictures. I looked like a monster, but my eyes would swell up. They would just get caked with this rash. I had these rashes on my neck, and I just had joint pain. And I thought, geez, is this how it's going to feel to live the rest of my life? And when I would go to the doctor, there are a couple of times I had these horrible migraines where I thought I was just going to die. And they just told me, you have Hashimoto's, you have this. They diagnosed me with all these things. I said, how do you know I have that? And why are you telling me that? They couldn't tell me the root cause. And they wanted to give me all kinds of medication. I said, I'm not going to take that until you tell me why you're giving it to me and what it will do for me. And so really, honestly, I suffered through a lot of that. And then in 2019, February, I came upon breast implant illness. I don't know if you guys have ever heard such a thing, but I had a lot of these things going on. And some people who were having issues with their implants said that they had some of those things. And when they got their implants out, it changed. And so if you take a look at these pictures here, this is what I looked like prior to that. And then this is the morning of surgery right here. And this is the night of surgery. After I had those implants out, you guys, it was that instantaneous that when I woke up, my husband looked in my eyes and he just kept staring at me. I said, what are you staring at me for? And he said, your eyes are so clear. They were always bloodshot and red. And he said, you look amazing. And it just got better from there. Interestingly enough, I was introduced to LifeVantage products in May. So that was in April when I had that explant, exactly 3 years to the day. I started feeling better immediately, but of course I had some lasting effects. Probably that was going to take a while for me to get those toxins out of my body. But in 2019, a shift happened with Advocare, and I had a lot of people reaching out to me to go to different companies, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. As a matter of fact, when my friend introduced me to LifeVantage, I didn't even know what they sold, and I told him no 5 times. I did not want to hear what he had to say. But when he finally shared with me some of the stories, I finally sat down with him and I said, what do you even sell? And when he shared with me this breakthrough in technology, I didn't believe him. I just couldn't believe that he was telling me the truth. And so, so what I did is I started doing a little bit of research, and I said, why in the world didn't you talk to me about this sooner? But this is where it all started for me. These products had been around since 2003. I'd never heard of them. And there was an investigative report, as you saw that ABC Primetime video, in 2005. And it blew my mind. And I thought, well, how in the world have I never heard about this? And if it is so good, why is this in direct sales? I, whom in the industry, said that. And this is why, because when they were in retail, which they were, they sat on the shelves, this product sat on the shelves of GNC and all of these really good wellness companies, stores, but no one knew how to talk about them. So you can imagine, you know, after the ABC Primetime Investigative Report happened, there was so much known, but that just kind of fizzled out as people forgot about it because there weren't people continuing to talk about it. So they switched to direct sales to get it into the hands of people like me, who is not afraid to tell what we need to tell. And I feel obligated to share this. It is a publicly traded company on NASDAQ, and it has just great corporate leaders. And that's how we've gotten to where we are. And so what I did is I sat down with some molecular biologists, some chemists, and I wanted to hear all about this. And I wanted to make sure that what people were telling me was true. My friend had told me about a guy who has Lou Gehrig's disease. This man is still alive, and he's had Lou Gehrig's disease, I want to say, for at least 15 years. His name's Steve Bishop. If you're in my Biohackers Life of the Party group, just search that and listen to his story. I've never known of anybody who had Lou Gehrig's disease to get better. And so his story is absolutely compelling. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I have to see this. And so this is where it all started with that ABC Primetime Investigative Report. And I'm not going to share that with you tonight because we are a little bit pressed for time. But I do want you to know, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Erin Brockovich. Anyone know who she is? She sits on our board of directors, you guys. And if you know anything about Erin Brockovich, she is not going to put her stamp on just any old thing. So this truly is something spectacular. We have to ask ourselves, why are we so sick? You think about maybe yourself, the people who are around you. You look, people have headaches, they have allergies, they have things that they haven't ever had before. I mean, it just seems like, I think back to when I was, and of course I'm 59, but when I was growing up and going to school, we just weren't sick all the time, and people just didn't get as sick as they do now. And so you're thinking of people with back ailments, they can't sleep, all of those things. Why is that? It's because we're being hijacked daily. We're being hijacked right now, as a matter of fact, looking at this screen. I want you to know the EMFs out there are just crazy. We are overstimulated. There's the blue lights, the moods, the iPhones, the Apple Watches, all of those things have an effect on us. The food and water that we intake have heavy metals, minerals, pesticides. Our poor diet attributes to a lot of things. The environment, if we take a look, there's so much pollution out there. We get sun damage. There's household cleaners. There's beauty products, mold. All of these things have an impact on us. And if you take a look at this, and we were talking about this a little bit before you guys jumped on, about our stress levels and things that don't tend to get to us anymore, but stress, poor sleep, inactivity, we're overworked. If you're intaking alcohol or smoking, those things are all create oxidative stress, okay? And this is what we're going to be talking about. Oxidative stress damages the integrity of the cell. And so what happens, I see even when I ask my doctor, how did somebody like me get cancer? I take good care of myself. And he said, your cells are damaged. That it comes from free radical damage to your cells. So our body's natural defense is producing antioxidants that maintain the health of a cell. Okay, we actually can produce those antioxidants ourselves. You can't overtake antioxidants, and I'll show you. Unfortunately, the body's production of antioxidants slows down over time. When you're born, your body is producing tons of its own antioxidants. So what is oxidative stress? Again, these apples demonstrate how oxidative stress breaks down your cells, causing premature aging and disease. You think about it, you get an apple, you take a bite out of it, and what happens? And so it's the same way with the cell. Here's a normal cell, here's a cell attacked by free radicals, and here's a cell with oxidative stress. And free radical oxidative stress has a lot to do with all of these things listed here. You have your cardiac fibrosis, hypertension, every single thing here. I don't have to read these things to you. If you look at that, you know somebody who is affected by this. And that is why we should care about what oxidative stress does to our body. Who do you know that suffers from one of these chronic illnesses that are over here? Oxidative stress is tied to every single disease and condition out there. Okay. And the most important thing is your NRF protein is responsible for supporting your antioxidant and detoxification defense. Okay. So we have a pathway in our bodies that actually produce antioxidants, and you cannot ingest enough antioxidants to impact free radicals and your oxidative stress in any significant way. But we can activate your key enzymes by taking this NRF2, and that will increase your antioxidant production, your own anti-production. So instead of taking antioxidants, you're actually making them in huge amounts, proven to drastically reduce oxidative stress in your body. So we can activate those pathways to reduce the oxidative stress, not just a little, but a whole bunch. Okay, so if you take a look, your direct antioxidants will give that a 1-to-1 punch. Okay, but when we open up that NRF2 pathway, it's 1,000,000-to-1. There is no way that you could eat your way to this many antioxidants. And this is why it's such a breakthrough in technology. We have over 7 patents and over 30 peer-reviewed studies. And I don't know if you all know what a peer-reviewed study is, but those are hard to get. And I would venture to say there are not a lot of natural products out there that have peer-reviewed studies on them. Okay, the ingredients are milk thistle extract, green tea, bacopa, ashwagandha, and turmeric. And you guys have probably, maybe some of you are already taking those, but it was the formulation of this pill, all of those ingredients in that formulation is what significantly reduces oxidative stress. It is the only product in the world that can claim to reduce oxidative stress by a minimum 40% in 30 days in every mammal. Okay, every mammal, the only product in the world that can do this. It's patented. Big Pharma has tried to replicate this product and they cannot. Okay, and so that's where we're at with that. There's third-party research. The best part about this is that those peer-reviewed studies are not paid for by LifeVantage. These peer-reviewed studies are paid for by the institutions who are actually doing the studies. Take a look at all of these institutions who have done research on this product. It's because it's that phenomenal. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of this research. So in the NIH study, this is the only product in the world that has been proven to increase lifespan. Okay, in mice by 7%, and in females by 3%. Now, what you have to remember is a mammal is a mammal. Okay, and so this is unbelievable. And again, this is the National Institute of Aging. This is the only place that they have ever said this is going to increase your lifespan, a yellow pill. And what I was talking to Kamber earlier about this, I said, I always hate to say by taking this yellow pill, this will happen, because I don't want people to think that just take the yellow pill and then do everything else horrible and you're going to be fine. We aren't telling you to do that, but this truly does remarkable things. Let's talk a little bit about this one, guys. This is important to me because I know a lot of people with MS, especially in Colorado. And so this pill that they did this research on, the MS pill that a lot of people take is $50,000 a year, or the medication. Some of you are probably familiar with that. I want you to read right here what it says, that NRF2 outperformed, interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most suited as a therapeutic strategy, as opposed to a $50,000 medication. And I don't know if you guys, I know that with most pharmaceutical drugs, they might fix one thing, but each time you take it, it's going to create another. Seems to be that way. Anyway, so again, this is not what LifeVantage has said, but these are peer-reviewed studies. And then the Washington State University, when they did their research, said NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Okay, this is huge, huge stuff, you guys. This is not my words, it's their words. And so for me to be able to am I smart? Am I a scientist? No. All I know is that all of these studies are out there for those people who say, I just need to research this. I'm like, please do. We encourage you to do the research, because look who you're up against when those researches are happening. So we've got the free radicals. We have the oxidative stress. If you were to go to pubmed.gov, please do. Okay. Because that is a website that is paid for by the taxpayers. You need to utilize it. And if you go in there and you search, let's say that you searched high blood pressure / oxidative stress, high blood pressure, NRF2, heart conditions, NRF2. If you do any of those searches, you're going to see numerous studies come up, and you're actually going to see, if you search Protandim, you're going to see 28 studies come up on Protandim alone. Again, you guys, this is incredible. If you're going to Google something about Protandim, please go to Google Scholar, not just Google, but Google Scholar, where there are legitimate science periodic reviews. Okay. I want to just make sure that I'm getting in everything that I want to say here. No product can do what Protandim does, and LifeVantage is the largest distributor of the most powerful protector of free radicals in the world. I just encourage you to do that. And so what happened was this isn't where we stopped, but in August, when I found all of this out, you guys, that's in August when I decided to become a consultant, because I knew two things. Number one, I had gone in and I had gotten my colonoscopy. Remember, I told you they said in 3 years, come back. Well, I was due for my colonoscopy in July. And when my doctor came in, he said, I had to look at your chart twice to make sure this was you, Sandy McClure, right? And I said, yes. And he said, what have you been doing? And I didn't know what he meant by that. I said, what do you mean? And he said, your colonoscopy came back amazing. He said, there was one minuscule precancerous polyp that wouldn't be cancer for years. What are you doing? And I will tell you that I had only been on Protandim for a month. I didn't even know really what the name of, I said, it's in this blue bottle. Surely you've heard of it. He's like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about, but never stop. You're not going to have to come back in for another 5 years. Do you know the music that goes to your ears when you hear a colonoscopy? You don't have to go back for 5 years instead of every year. And I was just relieved. And I thought then at that point, I said, I am obligated to share this. And so that's when I flew out to Salt Lake City and I said, I want to become a consultant for this, because I know that this product's going to help so many people. And it had given me my life back in so many ways. And so right after that, my granddaughter was born, and 2 weeks into her little precious life, she was taken back to the ER and there was something wrong with her. She spiked a fever. They didn't know what was wrong. And I reached out to one of my friends who's a consultant in LifeVantage. I will let you know there are so many medical professionals who are consultants in LifeVantage. And I reached out to her. She used to be a pharmacist. And I asked her, can my daughter take Protandim NRF2 because Bethany was losing her milk? And she said, get that in her as soon as possible and make sure she nurses your granddaughter. And we asked the ER doctor, and she said, well, I don't know, why would you want to take that? Or she says, who sells it? And I said, I'm not interested in that. I just want to know what in this product will hurt my granddaughter, because she had just got done telling me all of these antibiotics that they were putting through this tiny little baby and how much they could damage her. And so Bethany, with that clearing, she said, nothing, will hurt you. I just wouldn't take it. And I will tell you guys, within 2 hours of Bethany taking that, Bethany's milk came back. Blake took a turn for the better. They didn't have any way to explain what was happening with Blake, but they kept her 2 extra days just to make sure she was okay. And by the time we checked out of that hospital, that doctor was in my hip pocket. Unbelievable. She could not believe what she was seeing, and for no reason. And so we still don't know what was wrong with Blake, but she thrived after that. And so then in 2019 of October, this was September. So then October of 2019, another product came out through LifeVantage called NAD. And what happened then is this product right here, the sirtuin activity. I had horrible neuropathy in my fingers and my feet from chemotherapy. And my doctor said, you know what, by now it's probably not going to go away. It's been 3 years, 4 years since you've been through chemo. You're just going to have to live with it. And I went to this convention. I had no idea what would happen. I just started taking NAD. When I got home, I walked into my kitchen one morning and I said, man, my feet hurt. And then I just started to cry. And my husband said, are you okay? And I said, did you hear me? My feet hurt. I could feel my feet. They hurt, but I could feel my feet. And for 3 days, they hurt super, super bad. But now I have full feeling in my feet and full feeling in my hands. And the only thing that I had done different was added the NAD. So little things like that. And I would love to tell you all the things that happen, but then I don't want you to say, well, Sandy said this is going to happen, so I'm thinking this is going to happen for me, because everyone is different. You need to know that. But there's so many things, even to this day, 4.5 years later, things that I notice that are happening in my body that are better. And so, so here I am now at 60. Well, first of all, we have this Tri-Synergizer, and this is something that I'm going to tell you, all 3 protandems. This one for NRF2, the flagship product, is the one that reduces oxidative stress. The NRF1 was introduced to help the mitochondria, and we have so many people who have issues with their gut health and they don't even know it. So this one opens up that pathway to better gut health. And then the NAD sirtuins, you can see all of the things that it supports there. It doesn't say anywhere in there that it supports feeling back into your feet and hands, but that's what happened to me. So it's incredible, some of the things that happened. But here I am. This was at 58 years old. I had added all of these products, the daily wellness. This product was designed after COVID because it has all of the things that we need to make sure. It's like they say, reach for emergency when you feel sick. Well, if you take daily wellness every day, because they call it daily for a reason, then you will not have to have that emergency. And I know a lot of farmers and ranchers and people in the rodeo world who get sick and get those winter colds and things, and they are doing very well by taking their activators and their daily wellness. And then we've got that great Axio product, which is something that you're going to feel right away. We have a decaf version and a caffeinated version, and it's all natural. And these are the things that are in our Axio. And if you know anything about these ingredients, guys, you're seeing a lot of things that have to deal with things that are good for you to avoid cancer and major diseases. And so all of these things together, the synergistic effect of all of these things is amazing. I will tell you some of the benefits that you're going to feel when you take this. If you've got that brain fog, or you just, maybe you drink coffee all day long. If you drink one Axio, that's what I would encourage you to do. Drink one Axio and then decide if you need coffee the rest of the day. No artificial sweeteners, no artificial colors. Everything is on the up and up with this, and it's low calorie, low carb. This is a really interesting thing. People ask me, can children take this? Both of my grandchildren are activated, and this is before NRF2 and Axio, and this is after NRF2 and Axio, this study done with this child. Okay, it's crazy what can do. If you know children who have ADHD, we have some amazing stories about behavioral issues and things when kids get activated and are able to balance their bodies again. It's just incredible. There's a couple flavors out there right now, are limited time offers, green apple and orchard pear, really, really good. But I want to share with you again, is when I'm talking about children, is you know, the amazing things with NRF2. You heard me talk about my granddaughter who had that issue. I've seen babies, and this is one story of a little baby who just had this horrible eczema, and they gave this baby, they nursed the baby with NRF2 like my daughter did, and then they used the hand cream. I wonder if I put a picture up here. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so they used topically, they used the perfecting lotion, Kamber, and the anti-aging cream mixed together on this baby. And this is what happened. And here's the little story that you have. I also want you guys to know that I have another grandson. He's just over a year old, and my daughter was activated the entire time she was pregnant. She had an amazing natural water birth with that baby, and the placenta, when they saw the placenta of Morgan, they said, we cannot believe how healthy this placenta is. Just amazing. They just couldn't quit looking at it. They hadn't seen a placenta that healthy for a long time. So again, if this is happening with children, I've got stories, so many stories of people who have eczema, all ages, who have really benefited from being activated. And so what happened, you know, up to here now, guys, I had surgery in June of 2022. Okay. And this was me at 9:30 a.m. My surgery was at 7 a.m. I walked out of that hospital without crutches at 9:30 a.m. I walked that afternoon, and this is what happened. I had my surgery done in Vail, Colorado at the Stedman Clinic, where they work on world-class athletes, and my doctor was blown away. He said, I've never had anyone walk out of here after a knee surgery. And he didn't even have me come back to Vail for my checkups, because he goes, we don't need you. I had full range of motion almost immediately. And so what happened just shortly, like within a week after my surgery, True Science Liquid Collagen came out. And guys, I was really, no, I'm not much of a collagen crazed kind of person. I thought, how good can it be? But I will tell you that the effects of this collagen are unbelievable. Okay, so many different things with collagen. So I know that people love to have healthy skin and beautiful, beautiful skin. And I do know, you guys, I say your skin is your warning sign. You saw it with me with my implants, that my skin was telling me something on the inside was happening, and I needed to do something about it. I got those implants out. That was my warning sign. If you have got some like acne or things like that happening on your skin, there's got to be something happening. We need to get to the root of it. And gut health is one of the important things. But what we've seen with adding this collagen, a lot of people love that, like I said, love the skin, hair, and nails, but looking deeper into what this collagen can do, coupled with the NRF2, unbelievable some of the results that we're seeing. And they were seeing such remarkable results on the outside, and people reporting so many interesting things that were happening to them way beyond just beauty, that they went ahead and did another study. But if you take a look at this, if anything should catch your eye, it's a 202% increase in blood catalase. If you don't know what that is, look that up. Okay, Google that on Google Scholar, blood catalase, and I think that you will be blown away. You know, we've got this collagen density increased by 100%. Our bodies now are able to make their own collagen. Again, this liquid collagen activates our body to make its own collagen. It maintains and it activates and it replenishes all in one. Guys, I know this woman. This is Betty. Okay, this is crazy. She was activated with Protandim, and then she added the collagen. And I think this is from June to May. And I met Betty in person. And that's what I love about this. You just take a look at just how much better you can tell how much better she feels. Yes, she's beautiful, but look at the health. Okay, more results of people. If you take a look at Michelle, you know, just in a year, everything that's happened with her by adding the collagen. Again, this is one of my friends, Taylor. And she just, you know, she's young and she's beautiful anyway, but you can't tell me that you're not seeing a huge benefit and change in her, and her mom's pictures are even greater. 3 months post-surgery, 58 years old. There is no inflammation here in this left knee. It's just amazing to me. And now, I mean, I walk a lot. Kamber can vouch for me. I walk sometimes over 10 miles a day, just loving it. And I can run too, but I prefer walking. I know that you might question, there are lots of collagens out there. Why liquid? That hydrolyzed collagen is so important. Those pieces are highly water soluble so that your body is going to absorb that. There's a lot of things that pass through us and literally go to waste. I always say the most expensive product that you will ever use is one that doesn't work. And then here is a study. If you wanted to screenshot this real quick and read the study that they found on the collagen, you can read that or just screenshot that real quick. And this study right here is on our website as well. But these are that's amazing. And what they have found once they went back in and studied this after they saw these results, they said, we've got to know more and we have to know why. There are so many products in this line, guys, so many that are NRF2 infused. That NRF2 technology is amazing. Our skincare line is amazing. Our hair care line is amazing. Everything, again, done synergistically, which is why I love this company, is because everything that we're putting into our bodies just amplifies that. When you take these vitamins, it amplifies the power of NRF2 even more. Okay, this is one of our brand new products. It just came out. It's a daily firming complex. And I don't know if any of you are interested in having nice firm skin and just softer skin. I will tell you that this is mostly a vanity product, but what it's done for people in just a short time is unbelievable. It's like a retinol, but much safer than that. I went on a trip in September, I believe was when I was on my trip. I'm on the beach in Nevis and it is so hot there and we are out in the sun and I'd been using this. There's no way I could do that if I was using a retinol. With this, I didn't have any of those redness effects, but this is a better than retinol product as far as what it can do for you. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you something, but these 3 products together, again, the synergistic effect of all of these, they reduce, they recover, and they restore that beautiful skin. And again, our skin is our largest organ. These are my results, day 1 through day 60. I thought my results were good until my husband, he agreed to do this. And now, you guys, he will not go without this product because he said, my skin feels so good. And it isn't the vanity part for him. Take a look at his neck, by the way. It's the fact that his skin feels so soft. And he just says, I just feel healthier this way. Again, gal in her mid-40s, difference in her skin. This is my daughter, Morgan, in 45 days. I want you to notice her neckline, or her chin line, I mean, just really unbelievable. You can see the definition of that chin. Again, age 33. And again, you just look at her skin. It's remarkable what it can do. So what we have going on right now, and Kamber and I have talked about this, you guys, there's a Cyber Monday special where you can get this lip product for free. It's a $52 product. It's like a sugar scrub and then a lip oil. And for me, I use it all the time, especially up here in the mountains. It is so soft. You can get that free. What we would recommend right now, because this is such a great deal, is those 2 products right there, guys, are so compelling and they're so good together. You've seen some of the results on the outside. You can imagine what's happening on the inside. If you were to get this, all of this, it will be a $238.48 cost to you, which is total savings of $119.98. And if you get it today, if you guys go ahead and decide, okay, I'm ready, I'm going to order it, this is what I'm going to do, I'll even give you $10 off. And so you just need to message me, Kamber. If somebody orders tonight, just let me know and I will Venmo them or Venmo you, and you can Venmo them another extra $10 off if you guys wanted to go ahead and get started tonight. This is an excellent place to get started, guys. And I'm not just saying that to say that. It is a really great place to get started into feeling overall wellness. Okay, here's a deal. If you spend $150, you get the True Pout Advanced Lip Duo for free, and you get free shipping. And so if that's something you didn't want to do, but you wanted to try something else, just remember that that's the deal that's going on. And Kamber can help you with that. What she's going to recommend, and so do I, is that you put it on subscription. Please do not be afraid of that. You're going to earn rewards on every purchase you make. Plus, you're going to get 10% off retail price, and you're always going to get offers more. You can change that at any time. But we ask you, don't cancel it, put it off 3 months if you have to, but if you cancel it, you'll lose your rewards. But I will tell you, you will say, okay, it's just worth it to have the rewards, and you can put that off. It's just a great thing to have. So when Kamber suggests that, she's going to be giving you the best price. It's not going to help her the most, but it's going to give you the best price. And that's what we're here for. And I was talking to Steph earlier in this before you guys all hopped on, and she was talking about when she made the decision, I'm going to do this, because the most important thing is that you give it time. Cellular health takes time, and it's different for everyone. And over time, that's where you finally get your balance and repair. And so I always tell people, give it 1 month at least for every 10 years you've been alive before you say this isn't working, because we've had some amazing stories. And I just shared one about a guy who had horrible reaction to Humira, and he has psoriatic arthritis, and he was 5 months in before he really noticed anything, and then he had breakthrough. And I will tell you guys, I don't know how he was just so trusting in everything that it happened. And it's just an amazing story. So ask Kamber if I can share, or she can share that story with you. It's really amazing. There's 3 ways to engage you guys. You can become a retail customer and pay retail price if you want to. If you do that, that just means you like spending money that you don't need to spend. There's really no reason to ever order full retail, but if you want to do that, it's totally okay. You can become a subscriber and save that 10%, earn earn rewards, and also get opportunities that other people don't have. Or you can become a consultant to help pay for your products. It's up to you. Kamber can help you get started, and we are going to open it up to questions. But I just wanted you to know, guys, these are the moments that we live for. For me, I go into a doctor's office, they ask me what medications I'm on, and I am not on one. And they cannot believe that I'm not on any medications at 59. They said that is unusual. I don't mind being above average in that case. I don't want to be on medications, and it is not normal to be on medication. Don't let anybody ever tell you that. This is what I live for. I didn't know if I was going to be able to see my daughters walk down the aisle. When I saw them first in their dresses, when they tried them on, I was so glad to be part of that, because I wasn't sure that I was going to be there for those moments, or the moments of my grandchildren being born. And so I just want to share with you that, if anything can resonate with you, I want to be around for a long time. I want to die young at a ripe old age. And that's what I really want. So if not for you, take a look at the people around you, and maybe for them, because life is really short, and we just want to make sure that we live it well. So I want to thank you for joining, and I'm going to open it up to questions. Kamber and I really want you to be able to ask questions here now, if that's something that you would like to do. Just unmute yourself if you'd like. And if not, Kamber's going to reach back out to you, and we can go from there. But I know there's several of you on here, and she'd really like to talk to you now while we have this opportunity to answer questions if you'd like. Kamber, you want to unmute real quick and add anything?
There, I got it. I think that was good, Sandy. Mrs. Thermosgard, she ordered the Tri-Synergizer last week, so she should be getting it anytime. And then Lindsay, she is the one I was telling you about, that she's on all the skincare line now. So she's loving that. And Mrs. Seltzer just reached out to me about the NRF2, because I think she saw my post about sugar, and so I don't know. If any of you have questions, please ask Sandy. She's the expert.
Well, and I'm not going to tell you I'm the expert but I have been part of thousands of stories already in the last 4.5 years of people's stories. And it truly is something that you really, truly, until you experience it, you just won't appreciate truly what it is. And I'm so grateful that I got my hands on it. So don't be afraid to ask questions. I may not have the answers, but guess what? I have so many medical professionals who are experts in holistic medicine and stuff. And we've seen some great things happen. I wish I could share everything with you, but I'm kind of, they kind of make me not say some things just because I can't. Isn't that crazy that we can't say all of the great things? But we don't know if that's what happened, that the only thing that they changed was being activated. So it's definitely worth it. And you know, you can save an extra $10 if you get your order placed tonight. And so Kamber, just let me know that you keep track of that for me, and I'll make sure that I get that to people. But I do that because I want you to I just want you to do it. I mean, you're worth it. And you know, again, it took me 5 times to even listen to what, to even know what I had my hands on. And then once I told my friend, why didn't you tell me about this sooner? He goes, well, it took you 5 times to even let me talk to you. He goes, do you think you would have listened? And I said, well, probably not. So timing is everything. I was just as skeptical, so I get it, but now I will never not be activated.
My brother just texted me. He's listening with Lindsay, and he said, I'm taking the NRF2 and collagen. I can tell a difference in my wrists, elbows, knees, and back. So I think Clay's been on it for probably a month, I'd say, give or take. Don't you think, Mom? And so I know it's been a lot of change in our family for last month, and that's kind of how we feel. I don't know, obligated, or I just feel like it's not fair if I don't share these experiences with people that I love, because it's done amazing things. And I don't know why, like Sugar, my son's horse, you know, you all know my dad and what a skeptic he is. And I told him I was going to start giving her this pill, and, you know, typical man syndrome, you know, and until he saw what it did to that horse, I mean, my mom's been trying to get him to take the pill for years, and now his mind has totally been changed just from that, because she isn't faking it. That's just how she feels. And so she's kind of been the driving force behind all this too. But
well, and when you do get activated, it's really important that you take notes. What we want you to do is just swallow it and go on with your day. Stay very hydrated. You want to make sure that you're hydrated. If you're taking the Protandim, it's best to take it with food because it's better absorbed that way. And then I just ask, you know, when you're taking the NRF2, that you don't take anything that has milk thistle, ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, or turmeric in it at the same time, because then you're going to throw off that amazing formulation in that yellow pill. Because like I said, a lot of people take all 5 of those things every day, and they say, well, I already take that, but you don't take it in that formulation. And that's what can't be replicated around this world. And it's God's pharmacy. It's everything from the earth. It's so great. So the only side effects that you're going to get are probably good ones. And that's why I say when people say, well, I'm going to ask my doctor about it. Okay, they probably don't know about it. My oncologist doesn't know anything about it, but he says, don't ever stop taking what you're taking. Ask him what in this will hurt me? Because if you say, can I take this? Guess what they're going to say? Nope, you shouldn't. Just like that lady told Bethany with my granddaughter. I wouldn't give it to her because she didn't want to take the time to learn about it. Mm-hmm. And by the time it was all said and done, I guarantee she's a closet Protandim taker. She would never admit it, but yeah. So, and that's okay. Guys, we're going to give you this information. You do with it what you want, but the most important thing is we have told you what we know, and now the ball is in your court. Steph's got an amazing story about her blood pressure medication. She's almost off, and she's just had a great
Yep.
Great story. So
Yep. It's been I followed Sandy with Advocare, and then she started this LifeVantage, and I'm like, okay. And the thing about Sandy is the one that does all of the research and the digging and the findings, and I'm the one that kind of sits back and is like, okay, Sandy, just tell me what you know, and I'm gonna trust you because I just trust what Sandy has to say. And then I made the investment because I did feel like it was an investment. Um, and and then I made the commitment. And it was around, I think 2020 is when that kind of all came about. And it was and all of the things came together, and I started feeling better, and my mindset was better. I lost weight. It just things, we had some family things happen with Glenn's dad passing, and estates and settling, and everybody knows all the dynamics that can happen in those kind of situations. And I'd be curious to know how I would have felt or reacted if I wasn't activated, because I wasn't as high and low as I felt like I was before. And so it kind of kept me more even, and I appreciated that, and was committed to the products. I did do the subscription because it was just an easy way to I didn't have to worry about it, and it just showed up. And then I could just stay on the product, and I've been committed to it. I have a routine of when I take things, and I stick to that. As things came out, I know Sandy didn't talk about the Icy Bright. That is one that is for eyes. It kind of came out, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try it. I was, I don't like to say how old I am, but I'm old. And so I would get those little floaters in my eyes, and I'd be like, oh my gosh. And then, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this Icy Bright eye health. My dad had a detached retina situation and went blind in an eye. And so that always is in the back of my mind. And I'm like, okay. So I took that, the floaters went away. Every year I go for an eye appointment, and my prescription gets better than worse. I kind of got into where I felt like I was taking a lot of things. So I thought, okay, I'm going to give something up. So I gave that up for a month, and the floaters were all back. And I could just tell that my eyes, because I sit at the computer all day for my job, my eyes were more tired. It just wasn't as good. The collagen then came on board, and I am a huge fan, and I am committed to the collagen. I was telling Sandy I had to do a trip and travel, and I didn't pack it because I was flying, and I was going to be in New York for 10 days. And I forgot it. I don't know what. Anyway, I didn't have it, and I could just tell that I didn't have it. And it was just amazing. I think one of the biggest things on the products for me is I don't have inflammation and swelling like I've had even in the summertime, when it can get really hot, you can get like your ankles will swell, or I did previously. I don't have any of that anymore. There's just a lot of things. And then I did do I know my neck has some wrinkles. It's just gonna, cause I'm 57. It's just gonna, but they're not like they were. They're better. And my face is better. And then I just started doing the Renew. I just have been on that since it just came out, and I really like it. It absorbs well. It's non-greasy. It's not heavy. It feels like it does, I'm not a good before picture person, so I don't have a before picture for you, but I'm a fan of the products, and I'm going to get him one of these days to commit. And I think it wasn't me, but I think it's going to be the horse that is going to get him committed.
well, if any of you watched the ABC Primetime investigative report, if you remember the doctor in there who says, I don't want to wait till I'm 80 years old to find out I should have done this. That was the most compelling statement in that video to me. And it's true. And I don't ever want to look at my kids now that they're all activated. They know what this is. I don't ever want them to say, Mom, why did you not stay activated? I don't want to be that person. So does anybody have any questions or anything before we cut off? If you feel like you need to go, that's fine. I just want to make sure that you stay in touch with Kamber. One of the best gifts, tis the season. You want to gift yourself. This will be the best gift you ever will give yourself. Trust me on this. And I say, trust me, I do not take that for granted that people trust me, but I will not put just any old thing in my body anymore. Kathy can attest to this. Once you have been diagnosed with cancer, things change, and you are not going to just, I am not going to just agree to any old thing, and it has to be good. And that's why I love this and the science behind it. I still don't understand it all. I don't need to. I just know what it's done for me. And it's also done for my husband, everybody in my family. So, so again, I appreciate that trust, and we all do at LifeVantage. It's just truly unique. You won't find another company out here who has these products. It's like being the only realtor in the world. It's the only place that you can get it. So any other questions? If you just want to unmute, and if not, we can call this good. And Kamber, I'll let you get to work on reaching out to everyone, okay? I'd like to thank you all once again for hopping on tonight. We really appreciate the time that you spent. We know that you could be doing something else. This is really valuable. And please join that Biohackers Life of the Party group if you have not been able to do that yet. And you're welcome, Lindsay. Thank you for being on. And I look forward to talking to you again. We can do these. We can do another Zoom, just you, me, and Kamber, or whatever. If you would like to have more information, please don't hesitate to reach out. This is what we do. We love it. So with that,
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sandy. Thanks, Kamber.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.